This is Danny from Kick Invest, and today we're going to be talking about getting rid of sales tax on apps like Goat and StockX. So the first thing you want to do is you want to register with the state you're in. I'm in New York, as you can see. I'm in New York State, so they are a tax state country, a tax state that you have to pay sales tax for sneakers if you buy on StockX or Goat. So, for example, like, look at this. Maybe I'll have a picture pulled up. This is what, yeah, there you go. Look at this. Look at this sale I made. I was able to bid on this sneaker, $74. And look at this. I didn't have to pay any taxes. I live in New York, right? And you don't see a tax. There's no taxes on this sneaker because I have a sales tax on my account on StockX. So I'm able to snipe sneakers. I also have shipping discounts, whatever. That's something else I'll talk about in a later date. But I'm able to buy a $74 sneaker and only add $10 extra. So able to add $83. And I sold this sneaker at Lace Boston for $250. So I made a spread about 200. So I was able to buy this at $10 below ask. So I was the highest bid and sell this for a $200 profit. For $140 profit. So something insane margins on this sneaker, and it's sold within like 2 weeks. So insane margins on the sneaker, and I want to show you how to do it. So the first step is make sure, again, no taxes. That's what's able to save you so much money. You don't see any tax lines over there. So the first thing you do is you have to register. You'll go online and search up something called a resale certificate. So let's say, who asked me, Nola Kicks. So he lives in Louisiana. So you would go to the Louisiana state website and look for a resale certificate or a tax exempt certificate. And it'll go to a form. Mine's called the ST120, but it's probably called like something stupid with a few numbers, then a few letters or something like that. Really government form. And once it'll tell you blah, 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 name of this. So two things are important. To name a seller. So let's say I want to buy off Goat. I would just put on, I literally wrote StockX.com right there. Sorry, whatever. But I wrote StockX right there. The name of the seller. And that's what I did. And then also important, I'm going to zoom in on this. This is the most important thing. You're not going to be able to fill out this form with something, every state is different, but something called a certificate of authority number. This number is, you have to register with the New York State as a reseller. So you would get this form, and then you would have to go to the New York State government website and register as a reseller. So this took about maybe 10-15 minutes, no, maybe 5-10 minutes to do. And overall, this whole process took me about 20 minutes to do. And now I'm able to scalp off StockX. So the first step is go to your New York State government website or whatever website you have. For example, louisiana.gov something. Look to get either, it should be called a certificate of authority or resale number. Get this number, become a state vendor, it's called. So it will be like a Louisiana state vendor. To be considered a reseller, you will get this number. Once you get this number, you would go get a resale certificate or a sales tax certificate or something along those lines. You would get that form. You would fill out the form. Whatever you want to do, name a seller. You would get so let's say StockX, because I like to buy a StockX, but it works for Goat, it works for eBay, it works for wherever you like to buy sneakers from. So you would get that. You would fill out a form, name a seller. You would put whatever you put on here. Let's say you want to buy off Goat, so you'd put Goat right there, right? You fill it out, Goat, you write your street address, your city, blah, blah, blah. You mark all this. You want to do blanket. And you would fill it out, this yada, 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 right? Then you email it to StockX. I think the email is vip@stockx.com. Again, that's vip@stockx.com. And Goat, you would just contact them on the bubble and see where to send it from. So what you should know about this sales tax exempt, it's not like a money glitch. It's not like, if something's too good to be true, it usually is. So for New York, it's annoying. I have to report my sales tax every quarter. That means 3 times a month, 3 times a year, every 4 months I have to report my sales tax. And if I don't, they give me a $50 fine. So normally I always forget and I don't even care. It's only $50. I save so much money on, I saved that much money on 2 sneakers already, so I don't really care that much. But again, I'm not sure if Louisiana, I believe that their certificate lasts for 2 years. New York is only 1 year. So look up the state laws of how long it lasts for. And one other thing, in order to get this resale number, you need to have an EIN. If you have a LLC already for your selling, I don't recommend someone getting an LLC unless they have a few $1,000s of capital or spent a few $1,000s, maybe over $5,000 total on sneakers this year. Then I recommend everyone getting an LLC just to protect you legally. They cost about, depending on the state, anywhere from $100 to like $250, and you would get that number, and then you would sign up for an EIN. It's instead of your social security, that links you to your personal history. It's an EIN that links you to your business. So you would get this EIN number, and then after that, you would be able to apply for your certificate of authority with the EIN. Again, guys, this is just a brief overview, like an overall general idea concept of how to do it. So you guys are for sure going to have questions on it, but that's 100% okay. I just did an overview, a brief overview to show you the process a little bit. So when you have questions, you're a little more informed if you would be interested. So you would have to weigh the pros and cons of getting one. The pros would be obviously no sales tax. The cons would be you would have to file a lot more forms every year. And if you don't have an EIN, if you don't have a LLC, it'll be a little tougher to get. Not impossible, but a little tougher to get. So the cons would be like just paperwork. If you don't have an LLC and you don't know what you're doing, it can potentially take you maybe an hour or two to do, which is up to you, but that lets you buy off StockX. And the pros would be obviously no shipping. So this is just a basic overview of how to do it. Again, you guys are for sure going to have questions, and that's 100% okay. Feel free to ask. Don't ask in your ticket number, ask in the VIP chat, so then everyone will see the questions. And then most of the time, if you have a question, another 3 people have the same question. So I'll be able to help a few people at once. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, ask in the chat.